Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. I begin in the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. All praises are due to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who has graced us with this opportunity to sit today and to speak about Nur Ul Islam of South Florida, Inc. First, I must state my name is Hazrat Khan. My wife's name is Sharifan Khan. My son's name is Safraz Khan. And my granddaughter's name is Safiya Shaharazad Khan. I was born in Guyana at Cadbrat, East Bank, Berbice, Guyana, on October the 30th, 1947. I came to the United States on August 24th, 1969, to New York. Later on, I came to Florida on July 27, 1978. When we came to Florida, I attended Broward Community College and have a AS degree in accounting and general business. I worked in the bank with Sun Bank and Central Bank of North-Dade. Later on, I worked for the Home Depot INC at 1951 South State Road 7 as a cashier, head cashier, front-end supervisor, etc. When we first came to Florida, we were attending Juma at Davie Extension Road by Brother Fayaz Khan home. Then we went to 183rd Street. Then we went to the mosque, Ansar, am I right? Ansar House?
Ansar.
Masjid al-Ansar. Now one night my father-in-law and I, we went to East 36th Street and 72nd Avenue to join the brothers to read the Taraweeh, etc. When we returned home to Pembroke Pines, my father-in-law and I, we were living next door to each other. I was living at 700 Northwest 86th Avenue in the city of Pembroke Pines, the county of Broward, the state of Florida. There was a vacant lot next to me, then my father-in-law's house was next. When we came that night back home from East 36th Street, my father-in-law was making his way to his house. And I said to him, Pa, Amir, I would like to speak to you right now. So he came back out and we had a lengthy discussion. And I asked him, Pa, how long you think we will be able to travel all this distance to go to different mosques, etc. I am strongly recommending to you that we should establish a place of worship. I know for a fact that we will have to start somewhere. And I asked him whether we can start reading at his house. But he said, no, what about your house? And I said, okay. When we first started, we started under the name of Islamic Community of South Florida, INC. That body was registered January 25th, 1983. We went on to look at various pieces of land, and Alim Khan, my brother-in-law, Irshad Khan, my sister's son-in-law, and Uncle Hanif went driving around the area, and they found the land where we are at the current time, where Nur Ul Islam is right now. We started to collect money. Haji Deen, before we started to collect money, we were reading at my house at 700 Northwest 86th Avenue. The documentation that we did was done by Jack Druckman, attorney at law. He was a very close friend of my father-in-law in Rock Creek. After we had the discussion, the very next Sunday morning, Haji Deen happens to be driving through 86th Avenue, and he stopped and asked me if Muslims are living around here. And I said yes. As a matter of fact, Assalamu alaikum, I'm a Muslim, and I'd like to welcome you to this community. And I start to tell him how my father-in-law and I discussed about acquiring a piece of land and to build a mosque, a multi-purpose hall, and an imam resident. One of the brothers who had a lot of say was Brother Assad Ishu from Southwest, Brother Ray Matali, and one more brother, I try to remember his name. Help me out with the names, sir. Ashadi Shoup, Brother Ray Matali, Hafiz Masroor, Taj Siddiqui. Also, we had Uncle Hanif, Sheikh Amir, Uncle Amin Mohammed, or
followed by
Brother Yasin Mohammed, Brother Carl and Zenora,
Ali,
and their daughter and son, Sheridan and Nisha. Haji Deen was the first officiating imam. Shortly after Hafiz Masroor came and joined us, he was the deputy imam.
followed by Cyril.
Followed by Imam Cyril. At that time, whenever they were absent, Brother Amin officiated. We decided to buy the piece of land, and it made a big difference because people were asking the question, where the money will come from. I remember precisely that Brother Yasin, Amin Sheikh and I had a very good discussion, and they said, don't worry. Who? Dr. Khan's father, Subhan Khan, Zahur, Brother Zahur from Cherry Bay, Zainul Khan from Cherry Bay, Faizi Garraj,
Uncle Mansour, Secretary, Uncle Mansour.
Uncle Mansour, of course, he was our secretary. He played a very important part in the organization, which was called, and I repeat, Islamic Community of South Florida. The land was purchased, and I want to call the attention of one, Mr. Norman Yassin, who is deceased. May Allah bless him and give him Jannah, because he agreed to give some money, along with all the brothers and sisters in the Islamic community of South Florida. But we were still short of funds. And through the instrumentality of Haji M.K. Shaheed and Haji Richard Dean, they were able to make contact with Sheikh Al-Fasi from Saudi Arabia, who gave us approximately $30,000. In addition to that, Sheikh El Ghanim from Kuwait came to Polish American Club when we had a fundraising dinner, of which I was the fundraising officer. And Sheikh El Ghanim came. I never met him, but they bring him with an interpreter. And Brother Yassin Muhammad and I had a great talk with him. And I told him we need money to purchase this land. And he said, how much money you need? And Yassin replied him and told him, if I am correct, about $25,000. He told Haji Dean, in the morning you must come to my place and I will issue a check for this amount. He gave the money. While at work at the Hollywood Home Depot, I was approached by Mr. Norman Yassin, who told me that they were planning, that he learned that we are planning to buy this piece of land. And he will be happy to help us. He was very instrumental in talking to people from the Woking Mosque in London with a condition that when we reach the amount of money required, the $50,000 will be lodged with Goodman and Goodman, Davie Extension Road, who was at that time representing us. As I said, Sheikh El Ghanim came. He was from Kuwait, and he gave us money. Woking Mosque gave us money. Sheikh Al-Fasi gave us money. And the Islamic community, including all the brothers, Assad, myself, Karl Ali, and so forth. I don't want to forget anybody. If I do, it's not intentional. It can always be included. Now, we purchased the land and had no riba. It was paid, and then Brother Yassin called me up and say, I want you to go and pick up the deed. I went to Goodman and Goodman and I said, I'm here to collect the deed. And he looked at me and he said, I'm glad you're here. We owe about you all owe this law firm about $685. And I would like to be paid before I release the deed. I said, okay. Allow me to go to my car. If my checkbook is there, I'll come right back and issue the check. If not, I'm going to the bank and get the money so that we can square the deal. I went back with the money and issued it to him. He gave me a long sheet of paper indicating what it was for. I paid the money, so we had no riba. They claim that it was additional expenses, but on that same document it said part was interest. So let us leave it as that. I remember before we closed, we went to Dr. Hazrat Khan, and my driver that evening was no other but Brother Yasin. When we arrived there, we rapped and we said, we are here to talk to you about purchasing this land, and we need some money. I understand that you promise to lend us $10,000. He said, I'll change that. I'll give you all $5,000, which he issued right away. Now, Islamic Community of South Florida was registered, like I said, on January 25th, 1983. Later on, the name was changed to Nur Ul Islam of South Florida. And I recall when the school was going into construction, the academy, one of the trustees, Mr. Gul Muhammad, went to the city and tell them where we will build the school. The authorities over there say, but you don't have any land registered to show that you're going to build the academy. He immediately called me, and I give him all assurances that I have all the documentation which he can come and collect and take it to the city under the name of Nur Ul Islam of South Florida. He did that, and they successfully got through with whatever they need. Then later on, the name was finally changed to Nur Ul Islam of South Florida, Inc. We had money, and like I said, we want to move on. And my father-in-law called me up, and he was ready and able to issue a check for $50,000 to purchase the land in the very front that is owned by the Jews. And he said you all could raise the additional funds to pay, I think was approximately $100,000. He said, I am ready. I consulted Yasin, who was the current president, and I was the vice president. And they say, no, we want to proceed with the mosque. I said, we can always build the mosque, but we cannot always buy the land. Now, another day, Mr. Norman Yasin came back to Home Depot. I saw the guy standing. He said, Assalamu alaikum. I said, Wa alaikum salam. I want to talk to you. I said, I'll be more than glad to speak to you. He said, man, they get the land and everything done. Now they're telling me they go build a masjid and they need some more help. He volunteered to Yasin that he will supply all the material with the understanding that Mr. Nabi will build a mosque. Aziz Nabi.
And Fuad.
And Brother Fuad. This was done. He gave what he got to give. And the people, we collect money and we build a mosque. Again, I reinstate, it was unfortunate we didn't get the land in the front. But we have to still move on. Later on, Dr. Khan and Nadir Khan, they bought the land across the street in Cooper City, if I am correct, with the acreage is like about something like 2 or 2.5 acres of land. And finally we paid them back. There was some riba, but all was taken care of. Brother Latif, Dr. Latif, paid the additional amount because one night I went up there and I told Imam Nasib, even though current Vice President, what's his name?
Nadir.
Brother Nadir said, no, don't bring up that story. I said, it's long overdue. Tonight I am going there to speak. I am the founder of this place because I am the one that brings the people together. I welcomed everybody. And tonight I'm going to speak out against the riba. Finally, the riba was paid. There was some outstanding amount. It was 40-something thousand. And Dr. Latif paid it. Then we had discussion again. And they came and override me one more time for the construction of the school. I said, no problem. And I said, you know, education is a good thing. The very first ayah, the first revelation, Ikra bismi rabbikal lazi khalaqal insan. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was told to read in the name of thy Lord. He was the unlettered prophet. So education is important. So I agreed and other members agreed. Nonetheless, when they're going to build the school, they talk only about the school and the school and the school. The azan was called and we went into the masjid and read namaz. And I saw she came. I said, Brother Kim, I want to talk to you. And I want you to put it in writing. When we go back to the meeting, I would like to address the meeting tonight. And the address was that we have stipulated what we're going to build on the land and so forth. You agree for the school to build. All right? I have no objection. I endorse the school. As a matter of fact, on July 21st, 2010, when the 5 trustees signed for the school, I was the last person to make the final decision for the school. When I came home, my son was sitting just there, waiting for me. Dad, I am waiting for you to sign the document. And we do what we have to do. I signed, and the very next morning, I didn't go to work, I went to Nur Ul Islam.
Brother Khan came, didn't he?
No, I took it myself.
Okay.
Now, during that time, when we had any documentation for me to sign, Brother Imam Gamal, a school teacher over there, always bring the document to me. The rest of them said they're afraid to come to me because they say I'm rough. I'm not being rough. I'm being right when I say something. Don't jump me. Don't walk and tell people you formed Nur Ul Islam. Nur Ul Islam was formed by Amir Abdul and Hazrat Khan. Brother Assad was very trustworthy, kind and generous. The same applies to Brother Yassin. The dear brother Asghar Ali was there, and he did a lot also for the community. Not forgetting our secretary at that time, Mr. Mansour Ali. In addition, Dr. Hazrat Khan was very generous on all the occasions that he was called upon. In addition to that, I would like to state, Brother Ashraf Amdani, Brother Dr. Latif, to Ashraf Latif. Oh? Brother Amjad. I can keep on and on. We have a system of democracy that we can remove somebody from office with majority rules. We have our school, the same thing applies. Is the cooperation we are receiving from all the people, financially and otherwise. And we are an organization that have Christian neighbors and Jews, and we get along very good. And I hope and pray, inshallah, that this relationship will continue. I would like, on behalf of myself, as one of the founders, not the founding member. Like I said, Amir Abdul and I, Pa Amir. I would like, on behalf of ourselves, the former trustees and executive and the current ones, we would like to thank the mayor of Cooper City, who has promised me that he will see to it that the documentation will be accepted and approved for the building of the mosque.
Grand Mosque.
The Grand Mosque. Alhamdulillah, all praises are due to Allah, because this is coming to reality, it's coming to fruition, and we thank the mayor and his staff for their continued support. We appreciate everything that they have done for us, our community, and I hope and pray, inshallah, that we will live and uphold the Constitution of the United States of America, Nur Ul Islam, and one day that our community will produce teachers, engineers, doctors, lawyers, and maybe a president of the United States of America. In my final conversation, I would let you know that my granddaughter from small always encouraged me, and she loves Nur Ul Islam like I do. Even since she was 4 years old, she's 18 now.
4 generations. And
she is the 4th generation. You have Amir Abdul and Ma Salima. You have Sherry. You have Safraz. And now you have Sophia. I can go on and on. Yes, I have a message for the founding members' children, that they should come out in numbers, because they're the ones have to take over in the future, because we know how many people we lost during the past. I can sit down and enumerate so many names, because we want this to be handed over to them and its true members, irrespective of where we are. Our people from the foreign countries, they are most welcome, and may Allah guide them that they will continue to support us, so that Nur Islam will be a faction to reckon with. And the interviewer, who happens to be former President Yassin son-in-law, I want you to know that we count upon you too to hold some good position and to discharge it at Nur Ul Islam. All our people work together.
And they are the best.
And they are the best. You know, they say in Guyana, one people, one nation, one destiny. Here in America, we say one nation under God. We will have to forever remember Allah for His kindness. Because of His kindness, we have this community. I would like to reinstate that Nur Islam is one jamaat. It's not a Caribbean jamaat because it comprises of people from all over the world. I could attest to this. And I don't want to forget my dear brother, Brother Imam Beg, and all the other Imams, including Brother Nasib. He has led us for 10 years. We will still look forward to having him coming at Nur Ul Islam. We love the brother, and Allah has blessed him, and there is still a lot we're going to learn from him. May Allah shower His blessing on his family, his wife, and his children, and his grandchildren. I don't know what else to tell you, but I look forward to be at Nur Ul Islam for a long time. I get emotion now because I am aging. We don't know how long we will last, or I will last. But whatever the time, we believe in the amantu billahi wa malaikatihi wa kutubihi wa rasulihi wal yawmil akhiri wal qadri khairihi wa sharrihi min Allah ta'ala wal ba'si ba'dal maut. I solemnly believe in Allah, in His angels, in His revealed books, on the day of judgment, in good and evil of fate, and in the life after death. Allah is the greatest. Allah is the greatest. Allah is the greatest, and only Allah should be served. Thank you, and Assalamu alaikum. Thank you again, and Assalamu alaikum. I promise you I wouldn't say anything more.